Hello, and welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is your love story. So, if a romance author was going to write a book about the great love story of your life, what would be the interesting thing to write about? Would be the most interesting relationship, the thing that would make other people swoon? So, we have 4 piles to choose from. I suggest choosing the pile that sparks a memory in you. So, for example, I would choose pile 2, Abundance, because the cave on this card reminds me of a time that I went to explore this system of caves with my mother and my 2 of my younger siblings. So I will put the timestamps in the description down below. Feel free to pause the video now and select your pile. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 1, the garden, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Ace of Cups, the 7 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. For your Romance Angels cards, we got Stay Optimistic About Your Love Life and New Love. Okay, my pile 1, so what is your love story? We start off your spread with this Ace of Cups. So what I'm hearing right off the bat is that in the past, you have offered your love to other people. This could have been in relationships, it could have been with crushes, but even though you approach people very open-hearted, and I think you can be really honest about your feelings and you can be very generous and giving, the next card in your spread is the 7 of Wands, which indicates feeling of having barriers or a lot of obstacles in place that are preventing you from being successful or preventing you from moving forward, specifically when it came to these past relationships. And what I'm hearing most strongly is that the issue is people never tended to you like you tended to them. Like, I think the people that you were offering your cup to, the people that you were opening yourself up to, that you were dating, that you had a crush on, whatever, you tried so hard to be what they needed or to make the relationship progress in the way that you wanted, but it just felt like there was so many excuses coming from these people. For some of you, it could have been them saying, there's too much distance between us physically. For others of you, they were like, I'm not ready for a relationship right now. Or they were just emotionally distant generally. Like, you could just tell they were not being as open as you were, as vulnerable as you were. And that has been really painful for you, to the point where now you're at a level of defensiveness where you don't really want to let people close. And that is why when this person that is represented by the 8 of Wands in the middle of your spread comes in, you're going to be very surprised, because the 8 of Wands is all about quick communication. It's about passion. So this person is definitely showing a lot of passion towards you. And with the quick communication, this is the kind of person who will call you when they say they're going to call. They want to speak to you. They want to open up to you. They want to tell you everything that they like about you. They want to give you compliments. They respond to your texts. This is not someone who's going to be ghosting you at all. But I think because you are not used to this kind of you're not used to receiving this kind of like active energy, this active pursuit of you, because in the past you have been chasing after emotionally unavailable people. You will be a little bit suspicious of this. You already had your guard up because of the people in the past. And this suspicion is reflected in the 7 of Swords. So you see all the foxes on this card. So you think this person might be kind of sneaky. You have the feeling that this person might be trying to manipulate you. I feel like in your head, you're thinking they're being too nice to me. They must want to trick me into becoming emotionally invested in them so they can be like the other people and just kind of leave me behind or leave me upset, leave me feeling down. But if you look closely at this particular card, there's also a bridge going towards this girl's heart on the card. So I feel like despite your feelings of suspicion, you still definitely have feelings for this person. You want to let them in, but it is difficult for you because of your past. But the good news is, at the end of your spread, we have the Queen of Cups, which reflects this kind of journey that you've been on in romance. We go from the Ace of Cups, the very beginning, where it's just you offering your cup to people who are unable to reciprocate it, all the way into the Queen of Cups, which is towards the end of the cup spread, and it's this beautiful receiving energy. It's someone who's open-hearted and allows others to love them and is open to receiving that kind of love. Because one of the things, and this is something that I've learned as someone who historically likes emotionally unavailable people, one of the best ways to be good at loving someone is allowing them to show you that they are capable of loving you back. So I'm just hearing very strongly that this is really the journey that you're supposed to be on, is where you're supposed to be able to calm down and just be able to receive the love and the attention and the care that you have been lacking in previous relationships. And this is all really reflected to me in the pile marker you chose, the garden. So this card is all about, there are two kinds of things. There's a gardener and there's a garden. And the gardener is someone who tends to the garden, who figures out what it needs as the season changes. They take care of it. They accept that sometimes the garden is not like 100% there. Sometimes it's too cold for things to grow. But it always tries to nurture and allow the garden to be the best it can be. And then there's people who get to be the garden, which is the person that gets nurtured and gets appreciated, not for just what they can produce, what they can give to the gardener, but the beauty that they have, everything about it that comes naturally. And for this pile, I'm getting so very strongly that you historically have been the gardeners in all of your relationship, which is not a bad thing to be. I think we should all find an even balance between being both the garden and the gardener. But it seems like in the past, you spent a lot of time trying to cultivate other people and help them grow and help them blossom. And you put in all of this work trying to make them appreciate you, make them like you, make them give you like the fruits of your labor, so to speak. But you have not really allowed yourself, or you've not chosen people who extend that same energy to you. So that's why you're going from this Ace of Cups to this Queen of Cups. This Queen of Cups is really the embodiment of that garden energy of being able to flourish and allow someone to take care of you and allow someone to admire you and love you. And you will have to overcome some of your mental limitations, your hesitations, your suspicions when it comes to love, so you can allow this person who really wants to be able to express all this admiration to you in. Your first romance angels card is stay optimistic about your love life, which says positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So this really goes hand in hand with this Seven of Swords to me, because with this particular imagery with the Seven of Swords, like I said, it's like you have an open heart. You have a bridge to your heart open. You want someone to cross that bridge, but there's foxes all around. You just have so much suspicion. So you really crave love. You want love. But it's hard for you to let go of these fears of being used or these fears of being made to feel foolish that you have from your past situations in romance. And so the universe wants you to know that when you meet this person who seems like they're a little bit too good to be true, it's safe for you to trust. It's safe for you to think that there is someone out there for you who will appreciate you and reciprocate all of the energy that you have put into your relationships. Your second romance angels card says new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So this Eight of Wands is that new person. Like I said, there's someone very passionate, very forthcoming with their emotions. They are good communicators. They make it very clear what their intentions are, and they pursue you very quickly. They have a lot of passion for you. And something that I'm hearing is that with this Queen of Cups at the end of your spread, this person could be a Cancer or have a prominent Cancer placement in their natal chart. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And overall, this is a very cute pile. What a cute love story. Congratulations. Good luck and love. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected Pile 2, Abundance, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the King of Cups, the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Hermit, the Ten of Cups, and Justice. For your Romance Angels card, we got Unrequited Love and Chemistry. All right, my Pile 2s, so let's get into your love story. We start off your spread with the King of Cups. So what I'm hearing immediately is that this could represent a person in your romantic past. It could be a Scorpio or someone who had a prominent Scorpio placement in their natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But overall, this was someone that you saw a lot of like emotional potential in. You definitely thought that you understood each other on kind of an intuitive, emotional level. Like you thought you could really talk about your feelings with this person. You thought they were really sensitive, that they understood you, and you felt safe, or like you could be safe telling them things about yourself that you don't normally tell people. You just felt like there was a very deep connection with them, deeper than you have with most people. And so when this connection ended, it was pretty painful for you. And that ending is represented by this Ten of Swords in reverse. So I'm getting two things for this. One of it is that with the Ten of Swords being in reverse, and the Ten of Swords is a card of painful endings, with it being in reverse, I feel like this is something that you knew was inevitable. It didn't really feel sudden. It felt like something that had to happen. I think you knew that this relationship with this person was not working out, or this could have even been someone that you had a crush on for a really long time, and it just wasn't reciprocated. It didn't work out, and you knew that like nothing was changing in this situation. So when you finally kind of decided to move on, or when it finally ended, it didn't feel like a huge revelation to you. It wasn't very shocking, but it was still emotionally painful. And another thing that I'm picking up from this Ten of Swords in reverse is that this is something that you have pretty much recovered from now. I think that this actually was a while ago for most of you. Like it's been at least a few months since this thing, and you're pretty much like over it emotionally. I mean, I think it helped that it was something that you were anticipating, so it didn't feel like it was, like ripping the Band-Aid off. It felt gradual, like everything just kind of shrunk away is what I'm hearing. So, but it was emotionally painful. Something that I'm hearing in particular looking at this Ten of Swords in reverse is there's a Mitski song, and I don't even really listen to this song. I don't know what the name of the song is, but the lyric to this song is it's something along the lines of, I want a love that falls like a body from a balcony. And what I'm hearing looking at this card is that that's kind of the attitude that you had towards love. You wanted something that really like took your breath away and just felt really all-consuming. But in the end, you didn't really get like the rush. You just got the feeling of like being flattened and having hit the ground hard is what I'm hearing. So because of that, you entered into this Hermit energy, which I think is where you're also at right now, where you had to do a lot of self-reflection and spend a lot of time alone. So I feel like for most people in this pile, you have been single for a while, like a long time, longer than most people tend to stay single. And during this time, you've really been figuring out how to nurture yourself and how to grow when you feel rejected or unlovable, or like you don't have the same resources or opportunities available to you in love that other people do. And that's reflected in the imagery of this card, with this person sitting in the desert but still having this beautiful tree in the background. It's about growing in the face of adversity, and the adversity in this case is feeling rejected, feeling unwanted, feeling unlovable, and you've had to learn how to really reflect on why you have these feelings about yourself. You know, where do these feelings stem from, and how to appreciate who you are and feel comfortable being by yourself and feel comfortable extending love to yourself despite not having it reciprocated romantically by outside forces during this period of singleness. But this hermit era that you've been in has been really important, because ultimately it's leading you to this 10 of Cups energy, the next card in your spread, which is complete emotional fulfillment. It's a card of long-term relationships. It's a card of family, starting a family if you're interested in something like that. And so what I'm picking up is that all of this was necessary in order for you to be able to really be happy with another person, because I think that because in the past you have almost, I'm hearing that for a lot of you, you have predicated your self-worth based on how lovable other people made you feel. So when you've been rejected, it has been really difficult for you and made you really feel poorly about yourself, because you didn't have self-esteem built up to like feel good about yourself even when someone else says they don't want you. And so now that you're in this hermit energy, that you're learning these lessons, it has opened you up to being able to come into a 10 of Cups kind of relationship, because you will be happier not relying on the other person and looking into their moods, trying to kind of bend yourself into the thing that you think they will want the most. Because I think you will experience the most happiness in a relationship where you feel like you can truly be yourself without fear of alienating this person or doing something that will make them not like you, which I think is something that you have a fear of from feeling rejected in the past. And all of this is really summed up in the last card in your spread, which is Justice. So what I'm getting is that all of this suffering that you went through, all of this feeling of rejection, this feeling of being unlovable, that I'm hearing for a lot of you stems from childhood, is something that, because you have worked so hard on it, the universe is really telling you that you will experience the kind of love that you crave, the kind of love that you give to other people. You will get something that is really solid and profound. And I'm also hearing for a lot of you that if you are interested in getting married, you will definitely be married. So who's this person that you're going to be in the 10 of Cups emotionally fulfilled long-term relationship with? Most strongly, I'm hearing Libra. So a Libra, or someone who has a prominent Libra placement in their natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and to a lesser extent, Virgo. So for your archetype card, we had abundance, and this really ties in to me with the idea that I was kind of going over earlier of a lot of you having these wounds from the past, a lot of you having wounds from your childhood that made you feel like you had a lack of love in your life. I feel like a lot of you have really struggled with low self-esteem, and because of that, you have felt very unlovable romantically. I think that's something that this pile in particular has really battled with, and I think maybe subconsciously the people in this group have sought out emotionally unavailable people because it's safe to not have cared reciprocated, because then it means that you don't have to reflect on, you don't have to be vulnerable, you don't have to let anyone in. but it still has been painful for you because even if you're subconsciously doing that, you're also subconsciously like reaffirming to yourself that you don't deserve someone who will be emotionally available to you, or that you're not lovable. So I really think that's what this King of Cups and the Ten of Swords in reverse is commenting on. But the other side of this abundance is that I think with this Hermit energy that you're in right now, you've been cultivating abundance for yourself. You've been really working on solidifying the other aspects of yourself that are outside of love. So for some of you, this is like material gain. You've really been establishing yourself in your career. You've been working on improving your self-esteem. Some of you may have gone to therapy. You've been working on, other aspects of your life that have been fulfilling for you. So that way you're not as focused on love, or you don't feel like not having love in your life is something that is preventing you from feeling happy or having joy. And you'll also experience abundance emotionally in this next relationship, this very just relationship that feels like everything that you've been striving for, very emotionally fulfilling. And for your Romance Angels cards, the first one we got is Unrequited Love, which says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going, which really goes with the King of Cups and the Ten of Swords in reverse that I was saying before. I feel like I said, for a lot of you in the past, you have gone after people who do not reciprocate as much emotionally as you, or you have really fostered like unrequited crushes on people for a long time. And when they end, it's pretty devastating for you. And it also has reaffirmed to you that you are unlovable. And that's something that you've really had to overcome in order to be prepared for this Ten of Cups justice energy that is ultimately coming to you. So your second Romance Angels card says Chemistry, which says there's a strong magnetic attraction here. And this is the person that is coming in after this period of Hermit, this person that you're going to have the long-term relationship with, that you're going to feel like you can dance around the kitchen with, that you feel like this is the person that I've been waiting for. This is the person that I've been working on myself for, so that way I'm ready to receive and not like subconsciously self-sabotaging. There's just a lot of, this is really cute relationship. And that is your love story, my pile twos. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 3, creativity, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Page of Wands, the King of Wands, the Seven of Cups, the Tower in reverse, and the Page of Swords. For your Romance Angels card, we got heart-to-heart conversations and reconciliation. All right, my pile threes, so what is your love story? We start off your spread with this Page of Wands, and immediately after that is the King of Wands. So I feel like this is the person that you have been in a relationship with in the past, or you will be in a relationship with coming up. So what I'm picking up from this is that this could be a fire sign, so Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, but I'm hearing most strongly Leo. And this person is someone that you could have known when you were younger, and maybe you reconnected later in life, like maybe you went to school together and you came back to your hometown and you saw them and you reconnected and you realized that you were attracted to this person. Because going from the Page to the King indicates a lot of growth. So before, you might have seen this person as being a little immature, or someone who had a lot of ideas but didn't really know how to pursue them or make things happen for themselves. Whereas now you would see them as someone who's very good at like getting things done when they set their mind to it, someone who's very creative, someone who's like kind of a natural leader, whereas before it seemed like they were more like observers and they didn't really know how to be the kind of leader or pursue these things that they've thought a lot about. For some of you, I'm hearing that this could be someone that you have been in a relationship with where it was kind of a long-term relationship where you got together pretty young, and over the course of the relationship you grew together. You really helped each other out. Because I feel like both of you are pretty creative people, especially with this creativity pile marker that you chose. But I'm hearing that there's been a lot of growth in kind of like nurturing each other's talents and like self-confidence. So being together has really made you both believe in yourselves more and also given you a lot of inspiration to put towards whatever creative endeavors you have. Like, for example, if one of you is a writer, maybe someone writes a lot about this particular relationship, or they're a musician, they write music about it. If they're an artist, like a visual artist, they make art about it, things like that. So there's a lot of growth here. But in the middle of your spread, we have this Seven of Cups. And partially the Seven of Cups is about having all of these options and seeing all of the good in someone. But the Seven of Cups also indicates that there's something kind of lurking behind it that's not working. So even though this relationship really helped both of you grow and you had all of these positive qualities that you were finding in each other, and that's the reason why you were able to maintain this relationship for so long, there was like cracks in the seams of this. But I don't really feel like this was a negative falling out between you two. It really feels more just like an inevitable thing. Like, maybe, for example, if you started dating this person really young, you could have dated in like high school, and then you both went off to university, you went off to different colleges, and the distance is kind of what put a crack in it, because it's hard to, even if you really love someone, it's hard to maintain emotional intimacy when you can't see each other in person that frequently. For a lot of you, that's what I'm picking up, though, is something about like a physical distance. For others of you, it's more like something happened to one of you, like one of you went through something pretty traumatic, like maybe you had a death in the family or something, and that caused you to have to pull back and really focus on yourself and like working on yourself instead of the relationship. But the message will resonate differently for either of you. But either way, I do think that there was an ending to whatever this was, and that's kind of solidified for me with this Tower in reverse. Because the Tower is all about breaking down things that are no longer working. And with it in reverse, I don't feel like it was as dramatic as it would be upright, because the Tower upright can be kind of like shocking, like you didn't see it coming. But the Tower in reverse, it's almost like you anticipated the end. Like you could see the cracks forming and you knew that it was going to happen and it was going to come apart, which is why I also think that I don't really feel like hard feelings in this pile. It's like, I think this person, you still really admire them and they really admire you. And I feel like you two had like a shared language, like a shared creative world. You have so many inside jokes together is what I'm hearing. And like I said, for most of you, I do think this is someone you know already. But if you are listening to this and you feel like, I don't know who this person is, it could be someone in your future and you will kind of go through this. But at the end of your spread, we have the Page of Swords, which makes me think that this person is coming back and they're a little bit nervous about it because they feel like it's been a while since they've really been able to be like an active presence in their life. So it feels like they kind of have to build up that relationship again from scratch. So they go from, initially they were the Page of Wands and then they came to the King of Wands. And now they're back to this page energy where they feel a little bit like a novice, like they want to make sure that they're approaching you very respectfully and with very clear communication and like being very truthful about what the things that like weren't working or what they learned when they were apart from you. But I just think this is a very sweet pile. Like it's definitely, it feels like this person knows that sometimes when you meet someone really young, you have to be able to go off on your own and experience things. So that way you don't get stagnant in your relationship with them. Because I feel like sometimes when people, for example, if they get married to like their high school sweetheart and they never really dated anyone else, there's always that part of them that feels like they missed out on having like, I don't know, the dating experience of their early 20s or whatever. And it's not that they don't like their partner, it's that you don't know what it's like to not be with your partner. You don't know what it is to be by yourself and to figure out who you are outside of that relationship. So I think this tower in reverse was really important for this pile, so that way you could come back together as like more mature individuals, people who were more willing to be very truthful and honest about their wants and needs, and have a more clear understanding of what exactly it is that they want in a long-term relationship. So for your first Romance Angels card, we got heart-to-heart conversations, which says honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And I feel like this goes with basically all of this. From the page to the king here, for the page of wands to the king of wands, I feel like this is how you end up growing together as people, is that you really feel like you can trust them, and you trust them to be honest with you and really be supportive, because that's what's going to make both of you flourish in this relationship, from the page energy to the king energy. And I also think it comes with when this person comes back with the page of swords, because they're coming back to be really honest with you. I feel like we should get back together. I feel like we have something really special. We have this shared language. You brighten my world. And with the second Romance Angels card, it says reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So again, I think this separation was necessary in order to really figure out who you were outside of this relationship for both of you, because ultimately being really comfortable with who you are alone makes it so that way you're not overly relying on your partner to like validate you, because you have your own sense of self outside of what the relationship is. And I think that's going to be really beneficial to making this relationship work in the future. And for your pile marker, we got creativity, and it has this couple holding hands and looking at all of these, beautiful motifs that they have in the sky together. So I feel like you two, like I said, there's really a shared language here. There's so much, both of you are visionaries. You really have an idea of what it is you want your life to be like. You are able to find the joy in small things together, and you really encourage each other to expand your mental horizons, whether that's learning about new things, trying new things, and being able to maintain that spark and encourage individuality and growth is what is ultimately going to make this relationship continue to work after reconciliation. So, like I said, I feel like a lot of you will know who this person is, and you have not gotten back together with them yet, or you're kind of on the cusp of doing it. For others of you, you might not have met this person yet, and then you will, and you'll kind of go through this little separation before you get back together. But overall, very cute love story. Thank you, my pile threes. I put out a new video once a week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 4, the Rainbow Reviver, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the Queen of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, Death, and the Six of Wands. For your Romance Angels cards, we got Deception and Wedding. Okay, my pile 4s, this is such a cute pile. I'm a fan of this one. So we start off your spread with this Queen of Swords, and I think this represents you. You could be an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. I'm hearing most strongly Aquarius, or have one of those placements in your natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But if you notice in this card, the Queen of Swords is facing away from the rest of this stuff. And I feel like this is kind of how people see you. They see you as being someone who's very intelligent, very smart, and I know you probably hate hearing this, but you can come across as pretty intimidating. I'm sure you've probably heard that if you're complaining about being single and people are like, oh, it's just because you're intimidating. And you're like, I don't feel like I am. But I think you are a little bit. I think you just come across as someone who's a little bit emotionally closed off, or you are someone who is not shy necessarily, but you tend to be kind of a quiet observer, and so it's hard for people to figure out what exactly you're thinking about everything. They just feel like you're constantly like analyzing them, and I don't mean in like a mean, like overly critical way. It's just like, I think people are aware that you are someone who has a very like deep interior world, and it's not one that other people are able to like guess or unravel really easily. And the Queen of Swords also in a love reading can sometimes represent like a widow or someone who's been divorced, someone who's been single for a while. So some of you could be widowed or divorced, but this is someone who is really powerful on their own, or comes across as really powerful on their own because they're so smart, they're so capable, but they also keep people at, an arm's length. They don't let people get too close to them. And I think this is how you come across to other people. They see you as someone who is fiercely independent and probably doesn't even like want to be in love. But then secretly you have this Seven of Pentacles energy where actually you feel like you've done all this work on yourself. You're very independent, you're very smart, you're a very good communicator. You've learned how to be honest with yourself about your own things that you need to work on. You know how to communicate your needs to other people. You've done all this work to grow things, but it still hasn't happened for you. You haven't found someone that really makes you feel safe and love. You haven't found someone that you can see yourself with long term. And that has been a little bit emotionally painful for you because you feel like, well, I see other people being in a relationship and being happy, and is there something wrong with me specifically that I feel like I try so hard to be the kind of person who would be a good romantic partner and it's just still not working for me? I also feel like for a lot of you, you're very good judges of character, especially because you are someone who's very quietly observant. And I think you've worked on yourself so much, you can kind of identify the things in other people that you don't want to have in a relationship. And so you're really not afraid to walk away from someone if they're not meeting your standards. But also, I think you can be a little bit suspicious of what other people's intentions are. And I think for some of you, you're a little bit afraid of emotional intimacy. You're afraid of being vulnerable, partially because you've been hurt in the past. But you definitely don't like the feeling of giving someone the possibility of hurting you or taking advantage of you. And that's coming through in this Five of Swords in the middle of your spread, which is all about kind of being betrayed or someone being sneaky, getting one over on you. And so this could have happened in the past, and this could be the reason why you've been single for a while, is because someone was untruthful for you, they betrayed you, they really hurt you emotionally, you could have been cheated on, something like that. And that's doubled down by this first Romance Angels card that you got, Deception, which says someone was wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So I think definitely someone in the past was lying to you or betrayed you in some way, and that is one of the reasons why you've been embodying this Queen of Swords energy. But I think it also is reflective of you, because even though you have this outward appearance of being, a very independent person who doesn't need anyone, and you don't need anyone. I don't think anyone needs a romantic partner, but it is nice to have one. There is this part of you who has been really longing to have the kind of relationship that you feel like you've been working to have for so long. And the good news is that the next card in your spread is Death, which is releasing the old in order to make way for the new. So you are releasing this pain from this Five of Swords energy, whatever happened in the past, so that way you can move into a new phase in your love life, something that is completely different, something that is transformative and will help you open up your heart to someone else. And this person could be a Scorpio or have a prominent Scorpio placement in their natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But overall, this is a really deep connection, and it's something that's going to change your life profoundly. So I don't think that you should ever restructure your life for someone else. But I mean, like, maybe you meet this person and you're in a relationship with them, and You become friends with their friends. You feel like you learn so much from them. You feel like you have so much more fun than you did before you were with them. And you feel like you're able to trust and express yourself a lot more than you were when you were still recovering from this Five of Swords betrayal. And at the end of your spread, we have the Six of Wands, which is the card of celebration and recognition. So whenever I see Six of Wands in a love reading, I always think, oh, people really look up to this couple. Like, this is couple goals. You know, people were like, they're so cute together. I want a relationship like that. Like people are really going to love you two together. And this just feels like a victory. It feels like all of this kind of emotional turmoil you went through, all of this waiting that you had to do in order to have this love that you felt like would never come is going to be worth it in the end. You're going to be so happy with the success of this relationship. And how successful is it going to be? Well, for your second Romance Angels card, we have Wedding, which says the situation involves marriage. So definitely, if you're interested in getting married, this is the person that you will marry. You could have a really big wedding with the Six of Wands here, or this person could be kind of notable in their career field. Like, you could be the kind of people who get featured in like the local newspaper for your wedding. And with the Rainbow Reviver as your pile marker, what I'm hearing is that this Rainbow Reviver in particular is all about being able to find the beauty in yourself when you're alone in order to maintain that hope and optimism when it comes to love. So with the Queen of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles, I think this is a universe telling you that until this Death card comes, until this really big transformative change happens in your love life, you need to maintain this hope for yourself and remember that you are enough and you're good enough on your own, and that you are still lovable, and that you will get the kind of love that you deserve. All right, my pile fours, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care.